Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back. So this is part 2 of the video I put out earlier, finishing up my predictions for Saturday, January 19th. A lot of big games, I'm going to get right into it. Pittsburgh at Syracuse at 1 p.m. Central Time. Two teams that are both 12-5. Pitt is 2-2 in the ACC, but have been playing well of late. They just upset Florida State, almost upset NC State, and they beat Louisville before that. So they got a lot of confidence going right now, which could be dangerous for Syracuse. Syracuse probably got a lot of confidence too, just had a big win over Duke at Duke. We saw Frank Howard really step up, which I think is going to be key for them come late in the season. Elijah Hughes is shooting well, Tyus Battle's playing well. So I think Syracuse is going to win that game at home over a young team in Pittsburgh. Next game we got Wake Forest at Virginia Tech. Not necessarily a walk in the park for Virginia Tech. They're coming off a loss at Virginia. They got routed in that one. I don't think they played terrible. Virginia really shot the lights out of the ball in that one. But I think we'll see Virginia Tech bounce back in this one. Like I said, shouldn't be a walk in the park, though. Wake Forest just beat NC State, so they can hang with these high-caliber teams. But I think Virginia Tech's much better than NC State, and they're at home. I think they're going to shoot really well at home. We'll see some of those veteran players bounce back. I don't think Wake Forest has anyone for Blackshear down low. Ahmad Hill is going to be too much, and especially the backcourt and Robinson and Alexander Walker. I didn't think Robinson, he did not have a great game the other night. He's a senior. I think we'll see him bounce back. I don't think his confidence is going to be wavered too much. Next game we got, probably one of the biggest of the day, number 12 Kentucky at number 14 Auburn. A really fun game, a game that's going to be an absolute battle. Auburn is favored by 4.5 in this one, but I do like Kentucky on the road. It's going to be a tough win, but I think they get it done. Auburn obviously has a veteran backcourt, and Brown and Harper, I've been saying it all year, they're really talented. Kentucky's going to have to be able to finish around the hoop against Wiley, who's blocking shots like crazy, but I think they got the talent to do it. They got Kellen Johnson, who's a great finisher. Tyler Hero, he can absolutely shoot the ball. They got Reed Travis, who can shoot the ball. They got Washington down low. I think it's going to be a tough game, a really good game. I think Kentucky goes on the road and gets the win, though. Probably going to be a great game, though, and I'm looking forward to watching it. Next one we got TCU at Kansas State. Going to be another good game. TCU, as we know, Jalen Fisher, one of their best players from last year and this year as well. He got injured and is now transferring. He's out for the year. And he's looking to transfer, so that's a big blow for them. He's one of their top scorers and a great guard for them. And Kansas State's been playing really well recently. They're back at home. Just got 2 big road wins in the Big 12. They just beat Oklahoma on the road, held them to 61. And then they beat Iowa State on the road, held them to 57. Their defense, since Dean Wade has gotten back, has been incredible. Brown is averaging over 26.5 in the last 3 Big 12 games. He's got a lot of confidence going for him. So I like Kansas State in that game. Next one we got, Louisville at Georgia Tech. Going to be a really tough game for Louisville on the road, obviously. Georgia Tech can play. Louisville is going to have to rebound the ball well against a weaker Georgia Tech team. Georgia Tech's lost 2 of the last 3. Louisville's got a lot of confidence rolling. Just beat Boston College, and they routed UNC before that. So we're going to need to see them rebound the ball well, like I said. And if they can do that, then I think they'll beat Georgia Tech on the road there. Next one we got, a really fun one, another good one I'm looking forward to is St. John's at Butler. Samori Pons came back the other night, and they beat a good Creighton team. They got other guys like Figueroa and Heron. St. John's is 3-3 in the Big East, but I think they're better than that. I think they'll come out and get a win on the road at Butler. They got to hold McDermott to not a big night from deep. He's been shooting the ball well. They got to keep Tucker to a low amount of points, who's been coming off the bench. If those guys score high, it's going to be tough to beat them. So they're going to have to defend them well. I think they got the defense ability to do that. And Samori Pons, he's a bad man. So I think we'll see him have a big night at Butler tomorrow. Next game we got Texas Tech at Baylor. Texas Tech is ranked 8th. We'll most likely see them drop in the rankings after their loss to Iowa State, and they were at home in that one. But I think we'll see them bounce back at Baylor. Their defense looked good the other night. Their offense was struggling. But I think their defense can be fine, especially against a weaker Baylor offense. And I think we'll see their offense step up. But they got to watch out for Baylor. Baylor is not a bad defensive team, so their offense is really going to have to come to play. But I think they will. I think we'll see Jarrett Culver have a better game. Matt Mooney will step up, so I like Texas Tech in that one. Next game we got Oklahoma State at Iowa State. Iowa State, like I said, coming off a win over Texas Tech. They've been playing well recently. They have 2 big wins over Kansas. They lost a close one to Baylor at Baylor, and they lost a heartbreaker against Kansas State by 1. So they've been in every game. They got a lot of talent on offense. They can really score the ball well. Oklahoma State is not a great defensive team. Does not have a lot of firepower on offense, which is why I like Iowa State in this game to get the win. Iowa State's just going to be too much to handle at home, so I like them in that game. Next one we got Oklahoma at Texas. It's going to be a fun one. Really looking forward to it. Oklahoma's coming off a loss at home to Kansas State. Texas has been playing well recently. They have 3 losses, but they've all been close. They had a loss to Kansas and to Texas Tech, 2 of the best teams in the Big 12, and the margin of loss in that game was 8. So in my opinion, they've been playing well. They've been hanging with these teams. I think they're going to get the upset win over Oklahoma. A lot of people may say they don't have enough talent, but I think they do. I think we'll see Shaka Smart come out with a great game plan for that one. So I actually like Texas to get the win over Oklahoma. It's going to be a fun game to watch, though. If Texas can hold Christian James to a low amount of points, then I think they can get the win because he's really the main point of that offense. Next one we got Virginia at Duke. It's going to be a great game. I'm not sure if Trey Jones is playing for Duke. He has not officially been ruled out for the game. He made a surprise appearance at practice, is what I saw on Twitter. So I don't know. They might just be keeping Virginia guessing on who's playing, if he's playing or not. But we will see Cam Reddish back. It's going to be a crazy game. Virginia went in there and got a win last year at Duke. I think it's going to be a different story this year. Even without Trey Jones, the backbone of that defense for Duke. I think we'll see Cam Reddish play well. He's coming off an illness. He had a great game at Florida State last week. RJ Barrett's coming off a tough shooting night. He's not going to have 2 bad shooting nights in a row. Zion Williamson's going to play well, but they got to watch out for Kyle Guy, Ty Jerome, DeAndre Hunter. There's just a lot of high-power offensive guys on these 2 teams. It's going to be super fun to watch. If you have to watch one game tomorrow, watch that one. I do like Duke to get the win here, though. A lot of people are picking Virginia. I like Duke in this game. They're at home. Coach K has had 5 days to plan for this. I like Duke in that game. Next one we got DePaul at Seton Hall. Seton Hall has already lost to DePaul earlier on in the year. Lost a heartbreaker to them by 1. I think we'll see them bounce back. I think Miles Powell will have a big game for them. So I like Seton Hall in that game at home. I thought they should have won that first one against DePaul. I actually like them. I think they're a better matchup. They match up better against them, so I like Seton Hall. Next one we got Mississippi State at Vanderbilt. Mississippi State, I think they're going to take advantage of Vanderbilt, who's 0-4 in the SEC. Really missing Darius Garland. Have been struggling without him. They don't have the guard play to match up with Mississippi State. Mississippi State wins this game on the road at Vanderbilt. Next one, Penn State at Minnesota. Penn State's 0-7 in the Big Ten. I don't understand how they are. They're a much better team than that. They've had a tough Big Ten schedule, however. And I think they're going to give Minnesota a little run for their money. Another team that doesn't have much to lose. They got nothing to lose, actually. I said that was dangerous for Minnesota against Illinois. And Illinois came out and routed Minnesota. So Minnesota's got to be careful with this Penn State team. Lamar Stevens can really do some damage down low. And then Bolton can hit some shots. Josh Reeves is a playmaker for him. So Minnesota's going to have to defend well. Jordan Murphy's going to have a big game, and Amir Coffey's going to have a big game for them. But I still like Minnesota in that game, but they do have to be careful. Final game, number 5 Gonzaga at Portland. Portland cannot hang with Gonzaga. Portland is 0-4 in the West Coast Conference. Gonzaga is actually a 27.5 favorite in that game. Gonzaga scores over 90 points per game, and that's taken most of the games they played non-conference, which is way stronger than a team in Portland. So I like Gonzaga in this game. They might even get over 100 points. We'll see. They got Killian Tilly back. Their defense is better with him. Their three-point shooting is better with him. So I like Gonzaga in this game. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Comment down below, like this video, follow my Twitter, Hilly Hoops, subscribe to my page, turn notifications on because these videos come out usually the day of the games that I'm talking about, so you don't want to miss it. And thanks for watching, and like and subscribe down below.